Now, after watching this episode, I gotta say one thing. Seung Jae really needs to step up and be the witness in person at this point. I mean, it was cool that he recorded himself saying what he had to say to help Jong-gun out, put it in a file, give it to Ye Seul, and she was gonna give it to Jong-gun. But in the end, we saw her purse get stolen, the file was stolen, and Jong-gun used a fake file to trick everyone. So at this point, he really does need to step up and stop being this background character. And what I mean a background character, I mean someone in the background pretty much just doing what they do and not getting the amount of spotlight. You know what I mean? And also, he has so many guts to try to sneak around and hack his professor's laptops, but not have enough guts to go to court and be the witness? I'm like, come on now. And the next thing I want to talk about is that guy, Junie and Jong-gun was following after Jong-gun visits someone. I think it was the guy who stabbed him when he was in jail. He was talking to him and some guy was there. And they were following him, and Junie was driving as fast as he can, trying to catch up to him, but in the end they failed. It was just that funny comment that Jong-gun said after they failed. He was like, I would like to clear my name before I die. Yo, that was so funny. And also, what's also funny is that when Junie was trying to talk to Jong-gun, Jong-gun came out of his office, threw him his keys and said, you can drive, right? My question, have we ever seen Jong-gun drive? I don't think there's one scene. If there is, please let me know, because in my mind, I keep thinking he's always been in the passenger seat, if not in the back of the car. I don't think he's ever drove. But please, prove me wrong. Oh, there's one little cute moment I want to talk about, and that's between Sol A and Junie. It's that one scene where Sol A found, I think it was alcohol. It was B's alcohol, I guess. She found it. She was drinking. She was pretty much worried about her grades. Junie came in and pretty much told her, hey, if there's something wrong, just tell it to me. And she was just expressing how she felt. That moment alone, yeah, that's going to convince a lot of people to ship these two characters. In my heart, I still want B and Junie. I don't know. It's just that type of dynamic of not that usual good main character and the funny, lovable female character, but have something different, like a strong, sometimes not funny female character with our main male character. You know, just to do something not usual. You know what I mean? So at the beginning of the episode, we are at Ye Seul's trial. Jong-gun stepped in to be her attorney because no one will. And plus, they're going up against the assemblyman, Hyeong Soo, a powerful man. So again, no one wanted to be her attorney, only Jong-gun. And they kept trying to stop him for being her attorney, saying that he was tried for murder, yada yada yada, but they failed. So that scene ended with Jong-gun going to prove that this whole thing was self-defense. And it's going to be a first time too, because throughout the episode, when the students were trying to find any other case similar to Ye Seul's trial where it was self-defense, they couldn't find any. But I think towards the end of this episode, I think Sol B found one. And then after the trial scene, well, first, we didn't really see much of Ye Seul's trial, well, so far, but after that scene, they went out to eat. Ye Seul, she was talking to Jong-gun and Eun-suk, and she felt guilty. The fact that Chang could be living with a disability, Jong-gun stepping in and saying, are you having a change of heart because you feel guilty? And he pretty much says, don't feel guilty, because everything he did, that's his fault. And if you change your mind, this whole thing is going to end. And in the end, she doesn't change her mind anyway, especially after being spit on by Chang after she visited him and he was praying for her to go to jail. And Ye Seul, she was trying to keep it professional, which I give her props for. She says, I'll pray for your recovery. But Chang still acting like Chang. I mean, a big abusive jerk, pretty much. And then we get Junie meeting up with Mano. I thought it was going to be something major, but it was really talking about the logbook that his uncle would check for his blood sugar level. And it didn't play much of a part, but it did play a part to that having a high blood sugar is not the cause of death. And that plays a role in Jong-gun's trial later on. Then we get Sol B's pre-hearing for her plagiarism. This is one case that I'm not really into as much as Yesu's case, or Jong Hoon, or even Byeong Joo. The information that we know so far is she helped Byeong Joo write the paper when she was in middle school. Byeong Joo submitted to Harvard. Sol B submitted to a contest and won. And that's pretty much the story that we know so far. We did hear that B's mom told her to copy it, but that turns out to be false. Yeah, I really don't know the story. I mean, she could have helped him. Who knows? Byeong Joo was never, how should I put it? The angel. That's the best way that I could put it. I mean, he did create enemies before he passed, so he was never really a good guy to begin with. But yeah, I mean, there is a possibility that she could have helped him. There's a possibility that she could have plagiarized it. And what's still up in the air was when Sol B asked Gio to be her witness, it does make me think that she plagiarized it. But here's the thing, we don't know. And then we get to Jong Hoon's trial. Before the trial starts, Seung Jae met up with Ye Seul, gave her a file. He said to her that I don't feel like being the witness on stand. Here's the file. Make sure Jong Hoon gets it. Now Ye Seul arrives at the court. She gets her purse stolen by some random dude on a motorcycle. And that was it. And she told Jong Hoon about it. And I'm thinking, dang, Prosecutor Jin, you... I really can't wait until Jong Hoon gets you and you be sent to jail along with his boyfriend Hyeong Soo. And then during Jong Hoon's trial, they're still on the sugar packet thing. At this point, the file is stolen, so there's no evidence or witness. And also, Seung Jae, he's not picking up. I've said this at the beginning of this review. Seung Jae, at this point, he needs to be there in person and say what he has to say. And then Jong Hoon fought back and really explained everything, and also having a doctor to explain too about the needle, about the drugs in the coffee. Like, he fought back that there was no struggle from the victim. Brought a doctor in to explain the drug and the needle, a possible of a spy camera in the room, knowing and waiting for Byeong Joo to pass. And also he pulls out a file, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, there's two? Not knowing that what Jong Hoon pulled out was a fake file, and he tricked everyone, especially Prosecutor Jin. And I'm thinking, okay, he put out a fake file. Where do you go from here? I mean, Seung Jae is not picking up. He still doesn't want to be a witness. Sol B, they still didn't call her up yet. The fact that she saw the sugar packet. What do you do? So Jong Hoon kept continuing to lecture, and as he was lecturing, you can hear the theme song We Are played in the background, and yo, that was just a powerful scene. I just gotta say that. And then towards the end of the episode, they're at the school. Hyeong Soo comes in with, I think, his lawyer, yelling at Ye Seul. But then the dean came in, backed her up, which was a pretty cool scene. And then the students and the dean left. But then Hyeong Soo called out to Sol A and said, so this whole self-defense was your idea, yada yada yada. And he was trying to threaten her, but then A was like, if you're threatening me, I'm not going to regret it. I'm not my sister. I'm not Kang Dan. And how do you know that it was my idea? So that means Hyeong Soo could have a spy camera at the school somewhere. I don't know where, but hey, like father, like son, huh? Then we get to the last scene. This is where it gets a little bit more interesting. So Mano takes a cab. He was talking to someone on the phone saying that he's there. Jong Hoon, same thing. Takes the cab, talking to someone on the phone, saying that he's there. Now, I don't think these two are meeting together. There's no way, because if you look at the background, I think Mano was like in front of a building, and then Jong Hoon was in front of, I think that was a river, lake, whatever. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's the same area, but I have a feeling it is. But most likely they're not meeting each other. And yeah, that's the gist of the episode and the review. If there's anything I might have missed, please leave it in the comments below. This episode was pretty good. It made me more annoyed with Hyeong Soo, Prosecutor Jin, Chang. Yo, I wanted to slap Chang for spitting on Yesu's face. I'm like, bruh, in your position, you deserve a slap. You deserve to go to jail. You deserve to be in that position. But yeah, he does have a powerful dad, yada yada yada. But we know that they're going to be sent to jail. But I have a feeling that there's going to be some setbacks. Maybe they lose the first trial or the first, well, I don't want to say the first round. It sounds like a boxing match. But I guess the first fight, I should say. And they'll probably lose the second fight. But then they'll eventually win the war. That sounds so cliche when I say that. I remember I said that it could have been an overdose of drugs that could have led to Byeong Joo's passing. But now, since in this episode they brought up the spy camera, the pen, someone waiting a perfect chance for Byeong Joo to pass, maybe it was a murder. I don't know, because I remember I said it was an overdose and everyone who was involved was pretty much at the wrong place at the wrong time. So maybe, yeah, there's someone involved, and I think Hyeong Soo is involved. Well, I think it's pretty obvious that Hyeong Soo is involved, and I think he's the one that's putting spy cameras everywhere. I mean, like father, like son, right? I want to know your guys' thoughts. Please leave it in the comments below. I enjoy reading your comments about your theories, about what you think about certain characters, about, you know, whatever you guys think about what happened in this episode. So anyway, if you guys like this review, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. See ya.